In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers were found dead on a remote mountain in Russia. Their tent had been sliced open from the inside. Their footprints showed they had fled into the freezing darkness, barefoot. Some of their bodies were discovered with crushed ribs, fractured skulls, and one victim was missing her tongue. Even investigators couldn't explain what happened. To this day, the official cause of death remains an unknown compelling force. This is the terrifying mystery of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The expedition began like any other adventure. The group consisted of young, experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. They were skilled, disciplined, and well prepared for the harsh winter conditions of the northern Ural Mountains. Leading them was 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. Their mission was simple: complete a challenging winter trek across one of the region's most remote mountain ranges. The hikers documented their journey with photographs and journals. In the early days of the trip, everything seemed normal. They laughed, they posed for photos, they joked in the snow. None of them had any idea they were heading toward one of the most mysterious tragedies in modern history. By February 1st, the group reached the slope of a mountain known by the local Mansi people as Kolatsyakl. The name carries a chilling meaning: Mountain of the Dead. That night, the hikers pitched their tent high on the exposed slope instead of camping in the safety of the nearby forest. It would be the last decision they ever made. Weeks later, when the hikers failed to return, search teams were sent to find them. What rescuers discovered on February 26th was deeply disturbing. The tent had partially collapsed under the snow, but investigators quickly noticed something strange. The fabric had been cut open from the inside, as if the hikers had desperately tried to escape. Their boots were still inside, their coats, their supplies, everything they would need to survive the freezing wilderness. Yet the hikers had fled into the night without them. Investigators soon discovered footprints leading away from the tent. 9 sets of tracks slowly descended the mountain toward the forest. Some were barefoot, others wore only socks. Imagine walking through deep snow in complete darkness with almost no protection from the cold. What could have frightened them enough to abandon their shelter? The first bodies were discovered beneath a large cedar tree. 2 hikers had attempted to start a small fire. Both died from hypothermia. Nearby branches had been broken high up in the tree, suggesting they had climbed it, possibly trying to see something happening on the mountain above. Then 3 more bodies were discovered scattered between the tree and the campsite. It appeared they had tried to crawl back to the tent. They never made it. Months later, the remaining 4 hikers were found buried beneath deep snow in a nearby ravine. Their injuries shocked investigators. 1 had a fractured skull. 2 had massive chest trauma, the kind normally caused by a powerful car crash, and 1 victim was missing her tongue. Even stranger, their bodies showed very few external wounds. It was as if an invisible force had crushed them from the inside. Theories began to spread: an avalanche, secret military weapons testing, government experiments, even paranormal explanations. But none of them could fully explain the strange evidence left behind on that mountain. Why did the hikers cut open their own tent? What terrified them enough to run barefoot into the freezing night? And what caused the devastating injuries discovered on several of the bodies? In the end, Soviet investigators closed the case with a vague conclusion. They claimed the hikers died due to an unknown compelling force. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in history. And somewhere on that silent mountain slope, the truth about what happened that night may still be buried beneath the snow.